So, as I'm sure many of you are aware, a political commentator, debater, just like kind of figure in general, was recently assassinated while he was doing one of his normal like debate things that he does across the country. This time it was in Utah. And in the midst of that, there was some very mentally unstable people that were, mocking and like belittling and, just making fun of his death, which, advocating for someone's death that has different political opinions than you is certainly, interesting. I didn't know that somebody needed to lose their life just because they had, a political opinion or may have even said some fucked up shit. But hey, anyways, one of these mentally unstable individuals was a developer at Sucker Punch who was working on Ghost of Yotei, and they made a tweet mocking Charlie's death, and they were fired for this, I'm pretty sure the same day they made the tweet. And they also made another tweet after they got fired saying, I don't care if I get fired from my dream job that I've had for 10 plus years over standing up for fascism or whatever, which is, good luck ever getting hired again, but, and I'm pretty sure advocating and, wanting death for those that have different opinions from yours is literally fascism, but yeah, let's not get into that. Anyways, after that, people have now started boycotting and canceling pre-orders on Ghost of Yotei and just boycotting Sucker Punch in general. And a YouTuber named Endymion made a video talking about the situation, talking about why he will not be supporting Sucker Punch and buying Ghost of Yotei and things of that nature, blah, 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 blah. Which is kind of crazy. You're boycotting something because of maybe one or two people when the game has probably like 300 plus people working on it. But that's not for me to decide. That's what we're here to talk about today in general. So, without further ado, we're going to be responding to this video from Endymion, and let's get into it.
I know that I'm not necessarily a political channel, although I do sort of combine that with video games quite often, and unfortunately these days, it's become ever increasingly clear that the mixture of politics and games media has become synonymous with one another, thanks to the many activist types that rot out the husks of these westernized studios. So I wasn't originally going to talk about any of this because, again, I'm not a political channel, but unfortunately people who make games in this industry have decided to now show their true colors, and it's frankly disgusting.
So first things first, I just want to point out the fact that he's saying he's not a political channel, quote unquote. Brother, that is literally your entire channel. Like, genuinely your entire channel. Every other video, if not damn near 90% of your videos, you're talking about some type of political thing in a game, in a movie, blah, 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 blah. And you also over-exacerbate literally everything when speaking about something being woke, quote unquote, when it comes to something in a video game or a movie or a show.
Firstly, I want to talk about the big one, which is Ghost of Yotei. This game comes out in less than a month. It's a game from Sucker Punch that decided to pivot the franchise to a female character that is being portrayed by a crazy activist already, as we all know.
Yeah, we do know. And we know that you've also said a lot of bullshit about the game too, claiming it's woke before it's even came out. Like, we don't even know what the story is.
Then Grums was informed that someone named Drew, who works at Sucker Punch on Ghost of Yotei, was celebrating the death of Charlie Kirk. The post said this: I hope the shooter's name is Mario so that Luigi knows his bro has his back. But then, as you can see below that, they have also retweeted saying that Charlie Kirk was transphobic and racist as well. They then decided to say more, which we can read from the bottom here to the top. I have been told that the Twitter has noticed me from across the room. Maybe instead of emailing people's employers, y'all should be emailing your reps and demand gun control immediately. You do realize that the person who ended Charlie was literally a trained assassin, right? Info has come out on the gun that was used and everything. This was not just some random person. It was a professional hit. I don't think gun control is going to matter to someone who likely has military experience and is likely being funded behind the scenes to take out political targets.
What the fuck is this Reddit-ass conspiracy theory?
What you should be asking yourself, Drew Harrison of Sucker Punch, is why you felt the need to even comment on this in the first place. You're a game developer. You have no reason to open your mouth about things that you have no business with. You make video games, you're not running for office or standing in the open, debating those who hate you openly like Charlie did so bravely many times.
So first of all, I just do want to clarify again, I don't stand by or agree with anything that girl said. I do think it's fucked up. Like I said in the beginning of the video, she's just not very mentally well. But what Endymion just said here is so goddamn stupid that I did just have to comment on it. Bro just said you have no business talking about anything political just because she's a game dev?
What the fuck are you talking about?
So let me get this straight. Let's say if Endymion, let's say he has a job in real life or something like that, and he's like I don't know, like a union worker. He works at a phone store. He sells phones or something like that. Does he not have any business talking about video games or talking about politics within video games if he's just, a games YouTuber? Like, what?
You would never do what he did because you're too afraid to. Instead, you'll just sit in your office and think that you're somehow holier than thou. And the added insult to injury is that your actions and opinions are not just reflective of you as a person, but your words will speak for the rest of Sucker Punch as well, because by employing you there, what your words tell us is that Sucker Punch is fine, and also just allows such rhetoric to be said openly like this. I said this on Twitter, but this is enough for me to never want to buy Yotei at all. I don't want to give my money to people who celebrate when other people are ended like this just because they disagree with them politically.
Again, with the stupidity. Brother, I don't know if you know this, but Sucker Punch can't go into the future when they're hiring people for a job. You know, the person they hired 10 years ago, they can't look into the future and see that they're gonna celebrate the death of someone like Charlie Kirk, or celebrate the death of someone having a political opinion they disagree with. Also, Sucker Punch fired this person, so they don't stand by or, allow or are okay with their employees doing such things. And also, aren't you one of the same people that was making fun of people boycotting Hogwarts Legacy because of the J.K. Rowling stuff? Aren't you one of the same people that doesn't like when people, lose their jobs because they say something offensive or something of that nature? And honestly, I stand by the same thing. Like, I don't think people should lose their jobs just because they say something offensive. Now, in this situation, mocking someone's death is a little different than, something like that. But I'm not sitting here actively boycotting something just because of one person, or like he's gonna bring up, some other person that works at Sucker Punch also liked the same tweet, but they liked it. They didn't really say the same thing. They just liked the tweet. But regardless, it's just like really hypocritical that Endymion is saying this right now and boycotting Ghost of Yotei over this, even though there are hundreds of other people working on this game that have said nothing about this, and we don't even know their stance on this exactly.
And I know that by me giving my money to Sucker Punch on this, that I'm telling Sucker Punch that I agree with them and that I want their developers who are so clearly lost in the ideological nonsense that I somehow want more of what they have to say. No, I'm tired of it.
So essentially what you'd be arguing here is that anybody that buys the game is that. Because if that's what you think you're telling Sucker Punch, then in turn you would be saying the same thing for everyone that buys the game. When in reality, most people are going to still buy the game because they want to play the game and they don't really give a fuck about anything other than the game. And they also don't care about something that one person that worked on the game said.
I'm so sick of these people saying these things so openly without any repercussions being had.
They got fired. There's your repercussions.
Sucker Punch is quite literally employing people who not only celebrate death, but also advocate for further action as well.
Damn, bro. I didn't even know that, like, when Sucker Punch hires people, they ask them the question, yo, do you advocate for death? And they hire them off that basis. I didn't even know they did that, bro. That's crazy. News to me.
And I also think that it's disgusting that PlayStation as well pays the salaries of people like this. I will not be buying Ghost of Yotei because of this Drew individual. I don't want to give my money to companies that hire and protect people who were clearly advocating for more political violence and assassinations against those that they dislike.
You one of those challenged kids?
The doctor said I could be on the spectrum.
I don't know what that is, but get off it pronto.
Yeah, the first straw broke was Erika Ishii being the main character in that game, who I can only guess is probably also laughing about Charlie Kirk dying too. I like Sucker Punch games before. I've bought plenty of their other games well before they were infested with this rot virus. But it's become very clear that this company has made it, very obvious that they are totally fine with employing actually horrible human beings like this.
Yeah, bro, they were infected with the woke mind virus, bro. Like, I can't, like, people actually, like, I can't believe people actually say these things unironically. And also, I don't know how many times this has to be said. She got fired!
And this is a terrible look for your game where your studio has so much riding on its success as well. So shame on Sucker Punch for this. And I'm disgusted by the words of your employee.
Okay.
You also had Legacy Killer HD, another YouTuber, who went onto Blue Sky and also found quite a few developers from other game studios also liking posts where Charlie Kirk was reported dead as well. For example, is seen here. Someone named Lee Cash, who works at the Coalition, that's the Microsoft Gears of War studio, is also celebrating Charlie Kirk dying as well. We also have Kelly Snyder, a senior producer on, yet again, Ghost of Yotei, also liking posts about Kirk's death. So you can add that to the other Yotei dev pile for another reason to never buy that game now.
So first of all, I can't even tell if this is true or not that these people actually liked this tweet, because when I tried to use the Blue Sky website and see tweets or just even any tweet, I tried on multiple tweets. I don't know how these people figured out or see the button where it sees who liked the tweet, because as far as I can tell, you can't. So I don't know if this is actually true, but let's say it is true. Let's assume this is true. Someone liking a tweet doesn't necessarily mean they agree or stand by the same thing. Like me, for example, there's a lot of fucked up things that I find on Twitter or Instagram, or a lot of things that I just find funny that I don't necessarily agree with per se, or just things that I even just just by I don't know, just bot scrolling with my brain off. And they were also probably friends with the person that the other Sucker Punch dev. Regardless of the fact, right? Let's say, and none of that mattered. These two devs are both terrible people. Okay, that's two people out of, again, hundreds of people that work on this game. And again, the one that did make the tweet to begin with was fired. So it's yeah, let's boycott the game though. Let's these are great reasons to boycott a game. But remember, this is the same person that thought it was silly and that you shouldn't boycott Hogwarts Legacy, and people were just being snowflakes and blah 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 for not wanting to buy Hogwarts Legacy, which, mind you, I agree with. I don't think you should have boycotted Hogwarts Legacy, but that wasn't my standard. This is Endymion's standard we're talking about. I don't think you should boycott either game. And also, like I've said many times before, I got a fucked up sense of humor, right? There's a lot of fucked up things that I laugh at, and there have been maybe one or two things about this situation that made a meme or something that I laughed at a little bit, I can't lie. I don't agree with making fun of it, but there's some things that did kind of make me laugh, I can't lie. Regardless, oh wait, I just realized, oh my god, Endymion's gonna boycott my videos. Oh shit. But no, this is just, again, this is just stupid. Really, it really just is stupid.
And this has also tainted my enjoyment of the infamous franchise, or Sly Cooper and more, knowing that these people at Sucker Punch are being employed and protected by their studio heads that say things like this. I really do think that a boycott will happen for future games because of things like this. And it's really not wrong of me to say that you should not give money to people who clearly hate you like this.
Bro, we're not for real. We cannot be for real. Yeah, this video is getting astronomically repetitive at this point. So I'm just gonna say it one last time and then finish off his video, because the rest of his video either has nothing to do with Ghost of Yotei and is also extremely repetitive. He says nothing, genuinely nothing new, really. That's every single one of his videos. They're just repetitive slop. Regardless, it was one person, two people at max, out of hundreds of people working on this game. And the person that made the tweet was fired, meaning Sucker Punch does not condone this.
Just how dense can a person be?
The next part of this video is from my friend named Bolt9236. He also makes videos on YouTube, so check him out. It'll be linked in the description. But he wanted to be a part of this because he also doesn't like Endymion's videos. So yeah.
I've known about Endymion for quite a while, with him having some absolute dog water gaming takes, using AI art for his thumbnails, and his current involvement in the culture war when it comes to video games. In case you don't know, Endymion hasn't always been like this, and he's quite alike another person I've talked about in the past, ENDYMION. Watch my video on that topic with his drama on Actman on my channel. He was just a normal gaming YouTuber, talking about Mass Effect, indie games that he thought were cool, and reviewing the new up-and-coming games. His videos weren't amazing, but at least they were his honest opinions on the video games that he liked. But just like ENDYMION, got a taste of that sweet, sweet anti-woke clout, and he never looked back. Compare his thumbnails from 2 years ago and now you can see a stark difference on what he values when making his videos. He cares more about winning the culture war and making gaming great again than making quality content that speaks to his tastes and his personality. This brings us to the Ghost of Yotei discussion, where he, just like the leftist he rails against and says, "Oh no guys, I'm so much better." He's actively trying to ruin the lives of people who make offensive tweets on the Charlie Kirk thing. Now don't get me wrong, the Charlie Kirk thing is a very bad thing to joke about, especially when you are happy that he died. But our answer should not be to destroy them and to leave them penniless. It should be to, like Charlie Kirk, convince them with our arguments. Even when Sucker Punch fired that game dev for the poor joke that they made, it still wasn't enough. Endymion and his fans are now demanding a public announcement for denouncing the hate, and for anyone who liked that tweet, including another dev from Sucker Punch, to be fired. Of course, the justification for this whole thing is rotten. Of course, the justification is that gaming is spoiled and rotten and that everybody in the gaming industry hates us, that we need to get rid of everyone right now or gaming will die. But I think this is a poor justification. Of course, the justification is that the whole system is rotten and that everyone, regardless of intent or context or even redemption, needs to be burned, replaced, and ruined. Look, I understand there's a lot of fear and emotion going around right now with the whole Charlie Kirk murder thing, but we shouldn't fight fire with fire. The goal should not be to win the cultural war, but it should be to stand by our convictions and be better than the people who we claim to not like the SJWs. We shouldn't be going down to their level to solve these issues. Endymion is a classic example of a guy who will do anything to maintain his relevancy and power by pushing the culture war as far as he can. These guys are not your friends. They are grifters, and I don't say that lightly, waiting to take your time and your money.
But yeah, with all that being said, that's gonna be the end of this video. Yeah, there's not really much to say now. His video's stupid. The people trying to boycott this game are also stupid for this, reason. And yeah, I'm gonna be very happy when this game comes out and is going to be absolute peak. And I can't wait for the videos that come out claiming it's woke trash and blah, 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 blah. But yeah, I thank you guys all for watching, and yeah.